Hey YouTube, today we are going to continue on our tutorials on the Vue framework, and I'm going to talk about list rendering. List rendering is used when looping through data, data such as arrays, object, or even JSON data. So this is a basic list. This is a basic HTML5 skeleton, and here we have the link to the Bootstrap styling. I've created a list, and I have created a class. This is a Bootstrap class, which is inside the unordered list. It's an unordered list, and also there's the li tags, and I've created two list items, and I've styled it using the Bootstrap list group item class. So these are just Bootstrap styling, and then I've included the link to the Vue CDN, the Vue development library. So that's a basic, and if you run this code, this is how it looks like. So far we have not implemented any Vue, so I'll create script tags, and then I will create a Vue instance, that's a Vue instance. Then I'll define the scope of the view. And as we have said, the scope is this div with an ID of app, and then I will create the data property, and then the curly brackets. The data of the data property will go inside the curly brackets, and then I will create a list. Okay, say student names. I'm creating an array list with containing names of students. Okay, I can name John, Josiah, John, Josiah, Jesse, then Jacob, John, Josiah. So this is a list of student name. Now I want to loop through this list of students. I will delete this Brian. Yes. Okay, I can let it just stay and create another. Okay, let me delete it. Now we are going to loop through this loop. We are going to use an attribute of Vue called v4. And I'm going to loop through it. So we are going to say v4 student name in stn in student names, then I'm going to create two curly brackets, and then I'm going to write the stn there. Now this it will loop through this list array and display all the number of students. So let's refresh. You can see it has looped through all the student names. Now this is an array. What about an array of objects? For example, you can say schools. Okay. And then I can create an array of objects. Sorry. So I can give the school ID. Let's say 4501. Then the school name can give KU. I want this is an array of objects. Now I'm going to create several objects inside this array. Then I'm going to give it a different ID, different name. I can say UON. Then I'm going to create another object. Then I'm going to give it a different school. Let's say JQuat. JQuat is my university. I went to JQuat. And then I can create a last object. So let's say MKE. And then I can give it an ID of 450 4004 or 5004. So the last item should not contain no. By the way, I can show you something. You can see this data, then these arrays are present. So I refresh. You can see this arrays of objects. They are present in this okay. I hope you can see that. Now let us continue. We want to display this second group of array objects. The first one was just simple array. The second one is an array of objects. So I'll create some I don't want that to be. Now for an array of objects, we'll do the school names. Let me copy the name. We copy the array name just the way, and then we give it an different school. You can say STK, and it is STK, but you know that it will have an extension of the name. You don't just declare like that. You say full stop, then you give the property of that array object. For example, it will have an attribute of school name. It will take this value plus the property of that school, okay, with the property school name property, okay, as you can see here, property of the school name. So if we run, it should work. You can see KU, UN, JQuat, MKU, and JQuat. So that's how we display an array of objects. Now, there's also a way of tracking these arrays. So you can put dot key, just a binding instead of we are binding the key of these arrays. School, okay, sorry, we have to say stk first, l dot the school id. Now you are binding this with a key, you are giving it a key. Okay, you won't see it here, but it's there. Let me show you. Okay, so that is all for the list rendering, and as I will go through it one more time, with list rendering, it's usually used to loop through an array of objects or a simple array. So in the first example, we have just looped through this array, and then in the second example, we have looped through this array of objects, and we have said we have declared forgotten that word, an item that will represent yeah, okay, I've forgotten that one, but this a value that will represent the value in this array every time it loops. So that's all. If you have any question, please feel free to ask.